Civil War, as well as tornadoes and other natural perils. Its claim to fame is the role its congregation.
You got the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
Have a seat and listen to the story of old.
That's the doors. That's what each door is supposed to represent. Very nice setup.
Which contains the church covenant, list of members, and minutes of the monthly business meetings. The first entry is dated September 11, 1798.
I've been in here when it storms.
By the October meeting, the first smaller meeting house was complete.
Daniel Boone's sister is buried out there. And a lot of settlers.
Benjamin Gist's father had served as a guide for George Washington. Hannah Pennington was the sister of explorer.
It's okay, bud.
All of these individuals would play an important role in the growth of this community.
Are you the preacher?
Rural County was still a part of Barron and Cumberland counties. John Mulkey, a third-generation separate Baptist preacher, moved his young family here from North Carolina to become the first pastor of Mill Creek Baptist Church. John was a gifted speaker. He became a popular circuit preacher and traveled hundreds of miles to preach the gospel. He baptized hundreds of people and performed dozens of weddings. He was chosen as the moderator of the Stockton Valley Association.
Me too.
2 years in a row.
Me too.
He traveled to the Cane Ridge Revival. The congregation here flourished under his leadership. And when they met for business on April 12, 1804, a 7-member committee was assigned to oversee the construction of a larger meeting house, the one you sit in today. After preaching for years, a sermon he delivered at Ward's Branch convinced John Mulkey that the Baptist doctrine of the time regarding predestination or unconditional election was wrong. When he got back from Ward's Branch, John confided to Elizabeth that his views of the doctrine had changed. He was convinced that everyone had equal access to salvation, and all the church needed to guide it was the Bible. He was torn between the need to lead the congregation of Mill Creek toward what he now believed was right, and a need for peace in the church. Eventually, his newfound convictions won out, and he presented them to the congregation. Once John had crossed that path, there was no turning back. The congregation that he had loved and nurtured began to turn on him. They tried him on 3 separate occasions for heresy. After the 3rd trial, it became evident that the discord would take a permanent toll on the congregation. John had to do something. On the 2nd Saturday in November, 1809, John Mulkey addressed the congregation, proposing that they try to bear with each other and live in peace. When it was apparent that could not happen, John then proposed, if we cannot live together in peace, that we agree to part in peace. Tradition holds that he asked all that believe as I do to follow him out the western door. About 3 times as many people went out the western door than the eastern door, giving John and his followers the meeting house. Their new congregation chose the name Mill Creek Christian Church. However, the impact of the split was so great, and John Mulkey so closely associated with it, that the site became known as Mulkey's Meeting House. Mill Creek Christian Church continued to meet here until 1856.
1856.
They abandoned the meeting house and began meeting in the basement of the courthouse. When the last